Welcome to Jason Gillearn's Chatbot. I'm Mr. Hand, Jason Gillearn's Chatbot. For the record, I'm different than other chatbots because I just don't give a fuck. Let's chat Gillearn.
All right, thanks, Mr. Hand. Mr. Hand, I've been reading about the Titan Submersible. Can you tell me a little bit more about Oceangate, the company that made that thing?
Oceangate is a company that specializes in the design and operation of manned submersibles. To ensure safety and reliability, Oceangate requires all employees to take a 2-day online submarine certification class as well as a vision test in the eyeglass section of their local Walmart. Their unique submersibles enable scientists, researchers, and adventurers with way too much time on their hands and clearly too much fucking money the ability to delve into the mysteries of deep-sea exploration. That is if you define deep-sea exploration as going 12,000 feet underwater and then imploding. Equipped with powerful lights, the submersible can illuminate the darkest corners of the ocean floor, especially when it explodes and the passengers become fish food.
So isn't Oceangate like one main dude, though? Like the guy who runs the whole show?
Yes, the CEO of Oceangate is also its founder. Additionally, he oversaw Oceangate's financial and engineering strategies and took on many more responsibilities as well. His other roles included Director of Unconventional Thinking, Unicorn Wrangler, Master of Whimsical Experiments, Chief Dreamweaver, Senior Vice President of Serendipity, Wizard of Oddities, Cryptic Puzzle Designer, Executive Director of Peculiar Solutions, Short Order Cook, and he was also the guy who fixed the video game controller when it broke, so he was then able to steer that miniature experimental death trap into history.
Wow, did this guy even sleep? He sure wore a lot of hats.
Yes, he sure did. Speaking of hats, he was also Her Majesty's extravagant headwear alchemist, and started a hat franchise called Bewitching Bonnets and Celestial Headgear, which he ultimately sold to a bald woman with a fat pussy. He would do this side business whenever he wasn't able to find a sucker to pay him $250,000 to get murdered 2 miles under the sea.
Yeah, I'm reading he might have cut some corners there. Any information, Mr. Hand, on how the Titan was built?
He transformed his backyard shed into a makeshift submarine construction zone where he gathered an assortment of mismatched metal scraps, rusty pipes, leaky buckets, a rubber ducky with a missing beak, and a used foot puss. He hammered, sawed, and duct-taped a peculiar collection of other strange materials, including a rubber chicken, mismatched socks, a bag of edible insects such as crickets and mealworms to snack on after he jacked off into those aforementioned socks. He also used glow-in-the-dark worms, a tin filled with expired fortune cookies from a downtown Armenian restaurant, a jar of rainbow-colored sand because he's woke, a deck of tarot cards that told him he would die, a voodoo doll, a set of magical crystals that didn't do shit, and a box of bizarre-shaped chocolates with unusual fillings like horse cum.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why anyone would want to get into that piece of shit, especially like a billionaire. Mr. Hand, why do billionaires always want to do strange things like go to space or explore the depths of the ocean?
With their vast financial resources, billionaires have the means and freedom to pursue their passions and indulge in unique experiences. Exploring space or the depths of the ocean can be seen as part of their ambitious nature, and a good way to get away from their wife for a week or two when she's being a cunt. But it should be noted that not only billionaires and scientists have made the trip below the ocean's surface. To give back to the community in which the CEO of Oceangate obviously didn't come from, the company had a brief program that sought to bring underprivileged adults on board one of their submersibles to show them the wonders of the sea. It turned out to be a one-off for a few reasons. Nevertheless, it happened, and here is some audio from that passenger talking about the experience.
Once I got in the submarine machine, I was like a little stoned still and a little bit of drunk, but not much. And I got in the thing, and when the circle for the window, you look out, it's like you see like all sorts of shit. I saw a fucking whale, man, or at least it looked like a whale. We started to go down, and I saw all sorts of shit, you know, a coral reef and shit. I saw fucking a bunch of fish swimming together and fucking, like little spots of shit, like a lot of little shit. Like if you look at a fish tank, like the little bits of shit that are like floating and shit. There's like all kinds of that out there. And then we saw this like a fucking rock or some shit, and it was shiny. I think it was aliens, but I did take some LSD, so it might not have been aliens, but you know, we just kind of kept drifting. We drifted, and then I started to feel like this pressure. I started to feel like this pressure on my nuts. And like at first it felt good. Like somebody was sitting on my nuts, but then it kind of built in kind of a weird way, and then I felt like someone was like punching my nuts from the inside.
Wow, this guy's a moron. What was the point of that?
Yes, he's a complete fucking idiot. That's why it was a one-off. But his experience on the Submersible was significant because, as you'll hear, he dealt with certain problems on the Titan which foreshadowed its unfortunate circumstances on its very next fateful trip.
But then the submersible, which I don't get that fucking word, submersible, like what the fuck does that mean? The submarine started fucking up. Like at some point, the thing started creaking and shit, like a fucking old fucking door in an old house. It's like creaking and shit. But it started fucking up, and so I got nervous and shit. But then, so I put my head between my lap and I started sucking my own dick, and that helped because it released the pressure in me that I think it released the pressure in the submarine. So we started to go up. Somehow it like unraveled the right way, and we were up on the water, and I'm just so grateful to be alive, man. Like I can't tell you how a submersible like almost fucked up my life and shit. But I smoke weed probably too much, but
Yeah, I smoke too much weed too, but not enough to get on the Titan Submersible. Especially not with that guy. All right, thanks, Mr. Hand, for that conversation and that interesting audio. Who was that fucking guy? All right, please rate and review the podcast. Check out irishcomic.com. Donate if you're very cool. And thank you always for listening to Jason Gillearn's Chatbot.